Once upon a time, in a peaceful valley nestled between rolling hills, lived a young villager who had a big dream. He wanted to become the strongest warrior in the kingdom, someone who could protect his village and its people. So he began to train, lifting weights, running, jumping, doing everything he could to build up his strength and endurance. He trained hard, but his progress was slow, and it made him very impatient. Every day he looked at himself in the mirror and saw how skinny and weak he was compared to the warriors in the king's army. He wanted to become strong and respected, but he wanted it now. One day he heard about a secret cave high up in the mountains where a magical elixir was said to be stored. This elixir was said to have the power to make anyone who drank it incredibly strong. Hope surged through him. Maybe this was the answer to his prayers. Maybe now he could become the warrior he wanted to be without having to do all that hard work. He rushed out of the village, eager to find the cave and claim the elixir for himself. But the path to the mountains was steep and rocky, and he wasn't dressed appropriately. Before long, he was exhausted, his clothes were torn and his feet were bleeding. When he finally reached the cave, he found that it was dark and damp, and there was no sign of any magical elixir. Disappointed and exhausted, he stumbled back down the mountain, defeated. As he walked back to his village, he saw a group of kids playing a game, and he couldn't help but smile. They were having so much fun, laughing and cheering each other on. For a moment, he forgot about his own troubles and just watched them play. But then one of the kids tripped and fell. The others rushed to his side, worried that he might be hurt. Slowly, he got back up, brushed himself off and rejoined the game. At first, he was a bit hesitant, but then he started to laugh and play again. The young man realized that in his haste, he had forgotten something very important. Life wasn't just about achieving his dreams. It was also about enjoying the journey and learning from his mistakes. He sat down on a nearby tree stump and took a deep breath. It was time to start over. This time, he would do it right. So the young man started to train again, but this time he did things differently. He didn't rush. He didn't get frustrated when he made mistakes. And most importantly, he didn't give up. He trained day after day, week after week, and slowly but surely, he began to see results. His muscles grew stronger and his body became more agile. He was becoming the warrior he had always wanted to be, but now he was doing it on his own terms. There were times when he wanted to quit, when the weight felt too heavy and the road ahead seemed too long, but he pushed through those moments and kept going. One day, an old and wise mentor from the village saw him training and approached him. He had heard about the young man's dream to become a great warrior, and he wanted to help. The mentor told him that true strength wasn't just about physical power, but also about patience and self-control. He shared stories of his own youth, of the challenges he had faced and the lessons he had learned. And as the young man listened to his stories, he realized that he had been rushing his journey. He had been trying to achieve his dream too quickly and had neglected the most important thing, the process. From that day on, the young man followed his mentor's advice. He continued to train hard, but he did it with patience and focus. He knew that success wouldn't come overnight, but he was willing to wait. And wait he did, month after month, year after year. He trained, he learned, and he grew. Finally, the day came when he was no longer a young man, but a strong and experienced warrior. His muscles were defined and powerful, his movements were fluid and graceful, and most importantly, he was patient and calm. Then one day, a group of bandits attacked his village. The villagers were terrified, but they didn't have to worry for long. In a flash, the young man who had once dreamed of becoming a great warrior, now a great warrior himself, was in action. He fought with courage and skill, protecting his people and his home. In the end, the bandits were defeated, and the village was safe. As the villagers cheered and celebrated, the young man stood quietly, taking it all in. He had finally achieved his dream, not through luck or magic, but through hard work, patience, and belief in himself. And so the tale of the young man who waited became a legend in the village, a reminder that sometimes the greatest victories require the greatest patience.